So hi everyone. First of all, welcome to our session. This is our the ninth call, and we will talk about user experience and UI tips and tricks. So basically this will be just a kind of the case study, and I will show you really nice the tips on Blend, which is the 2013 for Blend for 2013. So after the session, you can easily implement these kind of features into your applications. So let me introduce myself. So for the people who are just joining recently in the call series, so this is just one of the session series for Windows 8.1 development. So basically we will talk about we told about how can we start a developing application, and till right now we have seen implementing those features into our applications. So right now, what will we do is we will basically see how can we manage our application in terms of UI, and then for upcoming session, which will be tomorrow we will talk about the Azure mobile services. With Azure mobile services, we will implement into our application some backend through the Azure, and you can see that how can you use in your Windows Store application these kind of features. So my name is Ibrahim KIVANC, and I'm working as a Technical Evangelist at Microsoft MEA DP team. So this is my the main blog address, blogs.msdn.com/p/iKivanc. Through there, you can access previous recorded videos, and at the same time, for the upcoming content, you can easily find from there. And this is my Twitter address, the iKivanc. You can easily ask any question anytime. So please follow me to get latest updates regarding to Windows 8.1. So let's move on. So basically this is my blog address again. You can access previous 9 recorded videos, including materials and resources. So you can start from scratch, start from zero, and then you can just develop your application by yourself, including all cool features of Windows 8 and 8.1. And this is our roadmap. So if you haven't downloaded yet, so please go to this site, aka.ms/win8roadmap. Through this roadmap, you will see that where you are in terms of the technical knowledge, and then after that you will implement these features, these kind of resources into your application. End of the day, you will check yourself what you need in terms of developing an application. Then after that you can easily get those resources for your application development side. Here is our agenda. You can access upcoming session, which will be tomorrow, aka.ms/win8 online sessions. Through this address, you can access all sessions at the same time. You can see in the coming day sessions. So today's session will be on C# and XAML. If you have any question during the session, you can easily ask anytime. Please feel free to ask anytime. I will be here to answer your question. Just use question and answer side, and then I will be checking through the session. Especially if you have any question regarding design or the design guidances, so please ask me. So I would really love to have this session as a kind of interactive sessions. If you have any doubt in your mind, so please just let me know. So again, this is just a link of that, link of the online session, so you can find it from there. So basically today we will start with the user experience. With Windows 8.1, we can easily target the different platforms, the different screen resolutions. So let me check it. So can you see me? Can you hear me, guys? I guess you can hear. Hello? I guess you can hear me. Most probably it was a kind of like, temporary one. Let me see that. Okay, great. So most probably it was temporary one. So sorry for that. Like, if you can hear me. So, and also like, this video will be recorded, like it's recording right now. So you can access through my blog address and then you can just check it. So, okay. Okay. So let me remove this one. Okay. So again, like, if you have any question, please type it in here. I will be following through there. So with Windows 8 and with Windows 8.1, like, we have a new, the new guidance for like using our applications. Especially we have a couple of ways to do that. Like, we can use our keyboard, we can use our touch, especially touch is at the focus right now. So like, if you are like developing application, you need to consider like the touch screens, like the touch usability as well. In order to do that, like, we have some guidances. You can easily go to go to sites and you can just get some really clear guidance on regarding that. And then after that, like, you can just implement those kind of features into your applications. So basically this is our start screen, like where you can like add your for example events or like your application detail into here. Your application is capable to do that. So basically we call it like the lock screen features. With the lock screen features, like you can easily implement like these kind of notifications to the users, and then they can easily get through here. At the same time, like if you have some notifications like Windows Phone, without opening your PC, like you can just like see in here and see around here. So basically like you have very limited the numbers of like the showing notifications. Let's say you can just display your Skype, for example, Skype messages. Same thing with your email, same thing with your like the weather, same thing with like with all application which has the same feature. So you can easily check from here without opening the application. Through Twitter, through Facebook, or through like Foursquare, you can just pin here and you can just follow them. So like if you wanted to contact with the user, if you wanted to interact with the user, like you need to use these kind of like the ways to do that. So basically they will be able to like open without like the opening your application screen. So let me see. I guess you can hear me, but like most probably really not sure for that. So I guess you can hear me. So like I'm just continuing, like this video will be recorded. Okay. So okay, like there is no problem. Okay, sorry for that, guys. I guess there is a technical problem with some people. So like at least this video will be recorded. So basically in this session, I would like to like talk about like why we need like a really simple and clean UI. So basically this is the most question I'm always getting that. So why don't we use our regular like the standards, or why don't we use our like website standards or the normal desktop Windows Form application standards? So basically like we have a new term like called Microsoft Design Style. So which is like the former name was like the Metro Design Style. So like basically like it is just a kind of like behavior. Okay, so like I will record the video. Yeah. So the solution is like, please like, close your like the live meeting and then like restart the meeting. So then it will work fine. Like, rejoining again, like, will like to help you that side. Thanks a lot. I can hear them. So again, like, sorry for that. Like, most probably there's a problem with your side. Okay, great. So like, again, like, this will be recorded and then like, we can move forward. So the basic, like, I guess like all of you are developers. So I'm really not sure like how many designers in our meeting right now. So the basically, like, I will talk about like, why we need a really clean design, why we really need a, like, the simple design in our applications with a new like Microsoft design style. So the basically, like, this term is coming from like the international places, like the airports or like the metro stations or like, the subways, or at the same time, like, if you go to like the terminals, like the bus terminals, like you can just go there and you can just like see some signs, like the train stations, again, like the same. So the basically this this is the kind of behavior when you are in a hurry, like your brain is like working in a different the perspective. So you are not like reading every single sentence or every single like letters. So when you see in some places, for example, this is just a kind of sign from the airport. But when you wanted to check in, like, you can just see the sign. So like the basic, these are just like the gates, and then you can just go to like those counter, like for checking counter, and you can just check in. But the important thing is you need to go to the A block. The same thing for like, the check-in means like, here there is a luggage, and with this luggage you can see like that there is, they are just like, making, they are just waiting that. So the important thing is you need to access like the check-in A. So if you wanted to go to check-in B, like it is there, so you need to move forward, and C, like you need to move forward again. So the main idea is you know what you are really looking for. The basic, you are at the airport, you just wanted to give your luggage, and then you are just getting these kind of directions. So you will, for example, if you needed to find F, so like you will look for like this big capital letter. So the main idea is like content should be at the focus. Content should be like in front of you. So the this like the design guidance is helping that. Like, this design guidance is coming from a kind of like the Nordic design or Swiss design. So the basically, like with a really clean typography, you are just giving the correct message to the users. Same thing for like in airports. So basically, if you wanted to go to, for the departures at the airport, what you will do is, like, you will see like this, like a plane icon, which is like, like the departing at the airport. You can see like this. At the same time, this is just showing the directions. Same thing for like, for the other things, like, when you are looking for, like, when you see like these kind of things like in a different perspective, so the icons will be like the different. So like you can just check it. Basically, we have an application. Let me show you, like the Tower Mobile. So this is from Turkey, and then you can easily see that. So for example, when you go to like Istanbul airport, and if you check for like flight info, so basically this is just one of the coolest, like, like the sample for that. So it is just saying that, like, if it is domestic or the international. If it is international, if it is arrival, so you can see in here, like, there's a globe icon, and at the same time, there's an arrival, like, icon there. At the same time, if it is departure, so it is again, like, there's a globe, international globe, and there is a, like, like the taking off, like, the sign there. Same thing for domestic arrivals. So it is just showing like this kind of, like, the landing plane icon. You can just see there, and then like you can see in here domestic departure, like the taking off of a plane. Whenever you check that, like, where you want to go. Like if you wanted to go to domestic departures, you will just go there. Like after a while, so what you will do is, you don't want to read like these kind of descriptions, then you will just check the icons and then you will move forward. That's it. So this is the main idea, and same idea is like, you know, everywhere, like especially in like the airports, stations, like, you know, lots of the like international places. This is just the main idea. Same thing for like different places. Like this is just from train station, and you can see in here. So the basically, like if you wanted to find a gate for like 12A, so what you need to do is first you need to find like the 12, and then you need to find A, or if like, you know, like the alpha, like, or if you want to find it like 12 Bravo, like you need to find like the 12 and then B. So same thing in here, like you don't need to know like in a different language this means a gate. So you don't have to do that. Like, you know, you are in a station, and then what you really need to do is you need to find these kind of like, you know, the figures, these kind of like the content. So the basic, the same idea with your application. I'm just telling these kind of stories because when you get this message for your application, like you will provide the same like user experience to the users. So same thing for like, you know, internet icon or like the phone call icon. So whenever you check here, like you can easily understand that this means like this is just the internet sign, and this means like this is just a phone call sign. Whenever you go to that place, you can easily take like those kind of features and those kind of like the abilities, and then you can use them. So same thing for different languages. Like, you know, whenever you need to find something, so only numbers or only icons will be enough. For example, if you are really looking for like the station 3, you can just check from here. So you don't have to like read like, you know, these kind of like the descriptions, or like in English, like you don't have to like, you know, read that. So the same thing in here, like all of the details are there. So basically when you get used to these kind of things, you don't have to like, you know, check that. So think about your daily life, like if you are using public transportation, bus, or like, you know, some the different like routes, like you will easily realize that like they have like the specific numbers with the specific letters. So when you get used to that thing, so you will always like follow those kind of things when a bus is coming to you, or like, you know, if you want to go to somewhere else, you can easily check that. Same thing in here, like every single places, like international places. So this is really helping people to like, you know, to find a way to do that. So the basically what we are really trying to do is we are trying to do the same thing in our application. We have lots of data, but like we cannot provide this thing in a really good way to the users. So like today's aim is like, you know, like deciding why we need to provide this thing to users. For example, this is just the one, the newspaper cover from the New York Times in old times. So this is just a very old one. So, but the thing is, when you like have a look at that, like you cannot easily understand. So which one is fourth article, or which one is like, you know, like the politics, or where like, you know, articles starting and where it is like ending. You cannot easily say that like when you have a look at that. This is just a big problem. But like nowadays, like with the new like the clean design of like the New York Times, when you check that, so you can easily see that like, you know, from the different articles, from different topics, you can easily see in here where it is starting and where it is ending. At the same time, like this is just another article. Or if you wanted to find like, you know, different things, so you can just like to find from here, or like to find from here. So this kind of like, you know, separating, and then like, you know, like giving some distance between like the content, like this means like giving some margins in your application, like into your content. So this will really help your application to make it more readable. So like as you can see, like, you know, there is the image, and like around the image there are some margins, and you can easily recognize, you can easily like understand that like there is a really nice like aligning for the application, for the design. So the same idea for like, you know, our application. So to think about it in this way, we need to provide like the headers or like the titles in a really big font. So which means like, you know, this is the topic. Like if I'm interested in like this kind of topic, this kind of news, so then I will go deep and then I will read like the whole article. Or if I'm not interested in, so I don't have to read like every single line of like, you know, those articles. Same thing in here, like, you know, when you like have a look at that, it is really hard to really realize it. But in here, when you have a look at that, it's so clean and so like easy to read it. So the basic, like, you know, this is just a, like, you know, idea why we need to have the same user experience in our application. So this is just a basic one of the samples. Like, this is just a regular desktop application for the RSS readers. Like, you know, basically, if you wanted to have, like, you know, all feeds in your RSS reader, so you need to have some like categories, and then like in those categories you need to like, you know, add some new feeds for them. For example, Pioneer Woman, or like Closet Cooking, or like the Just Bento, like these kind of things. So when you move right, like whenever you click here, for example, let's say you, like, you know, click here, and then like what you will do is you will go there, and then in here, like, you can just see like the feeds. But the important thing is you have just recently like, you know, read this one. Like, you just recently read this one, but you don't have to read it again. So what you need to do is you need to have a look at that, like what is upcoming. So these are like the new content, and which is really like interesting for you. So then like you are just like reading here. Then after that, what you are doing is you are just getting like exactly the data in here, like around like maybe like 15%, or like, you know, maybe like the 20% of your screen. So basically you are just using like a whole screen in a real mess. At the same time, you have an add feeds button, you have refresh button, you have search button, settings button, and like, you know, the other like the fields, for example, like in here, like the search box. Same thing in here, like, you know, listing all items. So when you have a look at that, so you don't have to use like these kind of features in every single day or every single time. So the important thing is content. So what we need to do is, so basically what we need to do is like removing these kind of like, you know, the barriers from our application. So when we remove these kind of barriers, so basically we will have a really clean and like, you know, the nice UI, which is like, you know, the showing all content at the screen. And if you realize that, like, you know, the all content is really like, you know, looking very rich, like with their images, with their titles. If I'm interested in, like, I'm just clicking there and then I'm just going to the detail. Same thing in here, like, you know, if I just wanted to have more detail or more function, so I have application bar. So through the application bar, I can just list my like all comments, like add any feed or like refresh. Like these kind of features should be like there. So if you have any comments, you need to like, you know, place them inside of there. So what else? Like if you wanted to search anything, like you can search from here. So this is just basically Windows 8, like, you know, the behavior. So you can do that thing in Windows 8.1 as well. At the same time, you can put a search box inside of your application, so which we had in our sessions, like in like this in contracts and search. So you can easily just get that. So, and also like, you know, these kind of toast notifications are really important. Like, you know, we will talk about that. So with like even applications not running, you can easily get like these kind of toast notifications. We will have a look at that. So now after that, like, you know, if you wanted to share any content, you can use like the share. If you wanted to like, you know, use the settings, you can use settings. So basically this is just like, you know, this thing. So you can search, you can share, like you can like, you know, go to the settings easily. Or even like the devices, like if you have any video which is playing in your application, you can easily just send that thing to like your Xbox or the different screen. Like these kind of abilities are there, and then when you have a look at your screen, every single pixel of your screen is ready to use right now, and you are using in your application. So there's a question. So okay. Okay, sure. Like basically, like this is on my blog address. Like you can, if you can go to my blog address, you can just see from there. So, and also like, you know, I will share this content through my blog. and then like you can access like this kind of thing, and then you can just implement into your application as well. So basically right now I will talk about like the silhouette of Windows Store applications. So basically, like we have like the different kind of applications, like stock application, or like the headlines, or TV, like the Twitter, or like some social applications. As you can see, okay, sure, like my blog address is like blogs.msdn. Like IKIVANC. So like you can just like find from here. So this is my blog address. Like okay, like it is here. You can just like go there and you can just check like previous recordings and all resources. So basically like in one screen you can see like the 4 different applications. Like in 4 different applications, so like they are just following our design guidances. So with the design guidances means like what we are like trying to achieve. So basically when you see that, so like the gapping from the left side and the top side, and content is starting in here. So at the same time when you move left, same thing, like gapping to the left side and the top side, like the content is starting in here. So like if I will go up, and if I will check in here again, like it is same in here. So like I have same gapping distance, and if I move right, like again same, like I can just see in here, and I can just see like some details like regarding to like my application. So like if you notice that like all applications are following the same silhouette. So this means they don't have to be like the same, they don't have to look same. So the main idea is, so like if you give a space like that, so like the users will be able to like to have the same feeling, like their headers starting in here, their titles are here, so with the same places. So if you put your like the branding at the same place, so users will be very familiar with your content. So basically this is just the main idea. So and more like because of the operating system design, like if you like to open the charm on the right side, so like you can just easily like access these things. So if you can like just like open from the left side, so this is just from your opened application. So for example, let's say if you put any like button in here, up button in here, or just any functions in here, so when user try to like to click there, so or tap there, so they may like just go to here, and they may just like to open some application from the left side. So this is just the main problem. And then like if you consider these kind of things, and if you put like the all actionable, all like the items in here which is clickable, so basically they can just use these kind of features. So this is just the main idea. So same thing in here, like if you like download, if you just start from the grid template, so this is just basically an application which is following our design guidances. So what you need to do is like you will just go there, and you will just like to fill like your data inside of that, and then your application will be capable with like these kind of behaviors. So same thing for like the different researches. So for example, this platform is designed for touch first. So this means, so when you have a tablet in your hands, so basically like you will capture, you will like grab that device like this, so with your 2 hands. This is just after 1,000 people research. So then like then like researchers ask to the people, so please like try to access on the tablet where you can easily touch on the screen. So then they can only access like to the green. So then like researchers said that like please like try to like the access with your fingers, and so where you can like use the screen. So then like they like the users force themselves, and then they like the access, they reach like this kind of yellow the area. So the last one is like researchers ask for the people, so like please like force yourself, and then like to see like what is your limit to touching your screen. So then this became like the red area. So basically, when you have a look at that, so what does it mean to a developer? What does it mean to a user experience authentist? So basically, so like you can just go here, and if you like to put your like some common the functions in here, so this will be really easy to like to use like through the users. Let's say like if you have list, if your list is like ending in here, so this means they can easily access to your like the list there. Same thing in here, like if you have another list, so they can easily access in here with it easily. And for some functions, so for example, let's say if you wanted to put a like function, you can easily put it in here. So because they cannot easily like press by mistaken. So because this is one of the biggest problem on our touch phones, like in every smartphone. So whenever you are using that, so whenever you like whenever you use that, so this is just basically like you are touching it by mistaking, and then it is just liking status or something like that. Like same thing in here, like if you put like these kind of things with these kind of methods, so users won't be like disturbed like because of this experience. So, and also we have like separating our design environment into the units. Like one unit means like 20 by 20 pixel square, and we have some subunits, so which means like 5 by 5 pixels. So you can easily like see in the application. So basically, like the main idea is like if you put some content, so you need to have like the 6 units. So this means like you need to give like a 6 square in here, which equals to 120 pixels. Basically, like whenever you put there, your application will start from there, and the left side will be empty. And then, like when you move right, then you will have the same thing for the header. Like when you go to header, like you will see that like this is just a 5 unit like from the content. So then there is 2 units as well. So this means like this will be 140. Like this means like content will start from here 140 pixels like through the application. And same thing in here, like 7 units, 140 like from the top side. Same thing for your like the content. Like if you have like some like the list, so if you give some like enough gapping between like the items, enough margin between the items, so then that list will look fine. And same thing in here, and same thing in here. Whenever you put like those kind of things, for example in here 1 unit like the 20 pixel or 20 pixel, or like some groups. Let's say there is a list and there is another the group list. So what can you do is you can just have, for example in here 4 units or 5 units, so 80 pixels or 100 pixels the differences. Same thing in here, like the 4 units like the 80 pixels. So if you put like the 80 pixels between like the 2 different like lists or 2 different like these kind of groups, your application will really look fine. So the basic like we are just delivering these kind of templates to you. Whenever you put these kind of like the margins or these kind of like the gapping between like the elements, your application will automatically have these kind of user experience. Like user will easily recognize your application has this feature. And another thing is the typography. Like the typography is really important because your application should have a kind of like how can I say it, the template and rule for the users. So basically, like if you have a header, so what should be the size of the header? For example, you can just have 42 pixels or like 48 pixels for the headers. Same thing for your like content. Same thing for your like the subheaders or subtitles. Like you can just like follow from here, and you can just like get more detail. At the same time, if you will move forward, move right, so you will see that like gapping between like these kind of like elements. For example, if you are using like 9 pixel 9 pixel font, so like what will be the like margins between like the two the words, like the 2 lines. Same thing in here. So when you move right, when you check that, so this will basically give you a guidance. How can you like to think about that? Same thing in here, like here is a type ramp. So basically, like if you are using a page header, like it's saying that what will be the size of that font and what will be the type of that font. Like Sego UI Lite is our really official font for Windows Store applications, so which is coming a kind of the built-in. So when you use this kind of fonts in like correct places, like for example for the headers, if you use like Sego UI Lite, or like for the content if you use Sego UI regular, so this will really change the perception of the application. So when you check like in here, so you can just see in here like for the white background how it will look like, for the black background or dark background how it will look like. You can easily get an idea, and then here are the codes for that. Like for white background what will be, or for the dark background what will be the code, color code. So you can easily follow from here. This is just for the darks, and left side is for the light background, and you can easily get an idea about that. So another thing is the tasks. We have seen in our the sessions. So we have seen how can we integrate into our application. Again, I would like to summarize it again. So basically, if you wanted to show to your user some interaction with your user, maybe it might be news, it might be some the task to the user, or it might be some notifications to that exact user. So the main idea is whenever I log in with my credentials, like in here with my Twitter address, I can only see my Twitter mentions or Twitter messages. Same thing in here, Facebook. So I can just to see in here. Same thing in here, the weather. Same thing for every single notification, every single thing. So for example in here I can just see the lots of the detail. For example, I really love the finance application because it is just providing more data whenever I change the size of it, to the white tile or to do the large tile. So the point is whenever I make it bigger, so I can get more detail. So whenever I go to applications, then I'm just getting more detail regarding to regarding the finance index, and then whenever I move right, I can just have some different topics, the different content from the different topics. Let's say from news, let's say from the currency, or let's say from the different tools. So what I will do is, for example, I'm looking for Microsoft account. So in order to do that, I'm just searching from here and I'm just going there. So the good thing is, whenever I go to here, I can only see the detail regarding the Microsoft account. And I can see if it is going down or up. So if I move right, I can just see the lots of details regarding that. And whenever I move right again, I can see some statistic or some the news or some a profile regarding the company. More and more, I can get more. And the good thing is, whenever I open the application bar, when swiping from the downside, so there is a section it's saying that pin to start screen. So if I say yes, start on my start screen, Microsoft account, so it pinned to here, as you can see, I can just have my the tile as a white or as a large. This is all up to me, it is all up to my wish. So basically when you have a look at that, so basically you can just have an overview regarding to or highlight from all stocks, all finance information through the website or through the application and more. So you can just get specific topics, specific the detail regarding some accounts. Imagine if I put my favorite 10 accounts side by side. So I can easily manage my start screen as a dashboard. So this is just the main idea we have start screen. If you have very important things, instead of going to, for example, let's say Facebook, Twitter, or Foursquare, the different websites separately, you can just go to your start screen and you can see from here easily. how many mentions do you have, or how many Facebook mentions do you have, or same thing for the latest updates. If you move right, you can see in here like if there's an update on Foursquare. Same thing in like like the finance, you can just get more detail. Same thing with your like the email account. If there's a new email, you can easily see here and you can get more details. Same thing for like weather. Like to think about it, every single application is like capable of these kind of push notifications, like if they provide it in a really correct way. So like my ask from you is, if you have this kind of ability in your application, like please use it, like show like some notifications to users without their opening their application. So there are several ways to do that, like through the background worker, background tasks, like you can easily implement these kind of features. So if you can move forward, like as I mentioned before, you can just provide the different tiles, different tile sizes, and then you can just show them like this. And you can just show with the badge, like with a different badge, and at the same time you can just display more than one tiles together. So if I will move right, so you can see in here these are my tile sizes, like different templates, and then I can get more detail. So for more detail regarding the design, there are lots of things like regarding semantic zoom, like moving to the right side, like the navigations or grid view, some these kind of things. There are lots of details, but we have very limited time. So because of that, if you can go to design.windows.com, so let me open in here. So you can find lots of detail regarding the design from here, like the visual identity, like the envisioning, like the controls. Then you can find more with the like the downloads. Like if you are looking for PSD file, like PSD templates, or like PSD actual size of the how can I say the design for your application, you can just follow from here. Same thing for the application gallery. Like if you are really looking for really cool samples, you can just click here and you can just go to the detail. So there's one question. The questions, are there any standard tile sizes? So basically, we have 4 different tile sizes. First one is the small one, another one is medium, wide, and also large tile. So basically these the 4 different types of tile sizes is provided by operating system. So when you go to Visual Studio, there are some actual sizes for these bars, these kind of tiles. So if you provide these 4 different tile sizes, it's actually you are providing 3 different tile sizes, then it will be capable for all. So these are the templates. What you need to do is you need to follow those kind of things. So let me open a Visual Studio, or let me open a new application. Let's say grid application. So when you go to application manifest, package manifest, when you double click there, so you can see that application. So let me go here, visual assets. Through the visual assets, you can easily access all the tile sizes, for the square, skirt, the big one, medium one, wide, the large tile sizes. You can access from here, and you can provide these kind of the features for your application. So if you will move forward for the visual identity, when you go to here, you can just find lots of the layout information, or application information, or branding. So I won't go to the detail every single single thing. So basically if you can go there and if you can check all design guidances, in here to see the migration samples, or see some group ideas. So when you just have a look at that, basically you can easily have an idea how can you provide in a different way, in a different user experience. You can easily see from here, from the different the case studies. The same thing from here, the idea books. You can just go there and you can just check all resources. So like all of them are available there. Like, just please go there and please just check it. Same thing for branding. Like you can brand your application in a really nice way, like with the logo, with like, the rhymes, like everything else. Like you can just provide the same thing through your application. Just go there and just, check these kind of resources. Like when you just, check these resources, like you will have a kind of inspiration. So with these, like, with these kind of samples, like, this will be really easy to do that. So again, like my suggestion is please go there and please check like these kind of resources. Like same thing with layout. Like there are lots of really good layout samples. Like you can just check them. And same thing for like application samples. The good thing is whenever you go to any single application, so you will see that how this application look like, and at the same time, like if you haven't downloaded yet, you can just play the video and you can see like which kind of like the features is really cool in this application. For example, for this one, cookbook, like you can see it is really nice with the animations, and then you can just see there, like in a different perspective. So like to think about it this way. So you can just like, like implement the same like the user experience, same look and feel in your application. If you are creating an idea, if you are creating an application with a really nice idea, like please consider these kind of like abilities, these kind of like the cool features for your application. So you need to differentiate your application on store. Right now we have hundreds, thousands of applications. If you wanted to really have a really quality application, so like this will be the way to do that. My suggestion is please go to this like the website and check like these kind of samples. Like all of them will be like very helpful for your application and like your application idea. Same thing for controls, list view, hubs. You can see like all guidances with the best practices. What should you do or what you shouldn't do. So please go to this website and please check it. But there is another question. So the address is like design.windows.com, like again here. If you can go to this website, so basically you can just get an idea where you can find it. So this is just the basic thing, and then like I will move over with the demos right now. So I have some application demos that I will show you right now. Then after that we will go to our like photo portfolio application, and then we will implement some like the features inside of there. So basically like I would really love to show you like the Foursquare application. This is really nice in terms of like the UI. So when you go there, when you check it, like on the left side you can see like these kind of lists which is very close to you. And then whenever you click here, you can just like to see some like the places around there. And at the same time, when you click there, you can get more detail. At the same time, like you can just click on the left side from the list, and you can just like open that. Let's say like for example this one, if I click there, I can easily go and like to see the detail like inside of here. So the good thing is from the left side, like as you can see, like I can see the details regarding this place. The place name is really big capital letters, and like after that, like I can see like how many points is that it has, and same thing with till what time it is open. Like more details are here. Like I can see more detail. Whenever I move right, like I can see like like the pictures from this place, like, and also people visited here. I can see like some tips and some photos. So whenever I click here, like I can just see like more and more regarding that. So like as you can see, like it just opened like the 20 photos around, and then it's saying that like for more photos, like please click here. Like when I like tap here, I will see like more detail. For example, in here, like the 22 like the tips. Whenever I click here, so I can just see the detail. Whenever I click there, I can like open more detail. Like whenever I need more, like I'm just clicking here and like getting more and more. So this should be the same like the idea with your application, with your like with your like the user experience. Like if you are providing these kind of things, you need to give in a really nice way. So same thing in here, like now I can see like the total check-ins 66K. Same thing for total people, total different people, or like now I can see my check-ins or I can see how many people are here right now. I can see the mayor. Like as you can see, like with a really nice icon, I can just see like what he's doing and what details I can get. Same thing in here, like from Mecidiyekköy, like I can just see there. Same thing in here, like I can see like the different places. This is just the main idea. Like think about it. Like when I go back, I will go back to my start screen and I will have the same experience again. So this is saying that you have just been here, like at Microsoft Office. Same thing in here. When you click there, like you will go there and you can just get the detail. If I will move right, I have some couple of samples for some fun to learn. So this is really nice application for the Arabic letters, for the children. So whenever they go there, they can get a really clear guidance, and they can easily understand how can they pronounce it, and how can they just do that like this way. So then whenever you are completed that thing, basically it is just giving points, or it is directing to you for the next steps. So this is just basically one thing. The question is, how can you edit the grid view in 8.1? So basically, if you can watch my the previous videos on my blog post, you can have a clear guidance on that. Basically we have a sample I will show you right now. So we have just seen we have just developed that application in those series, and you can just get more detail regarding that. So and also this application Odea Bank, let me go there. So let me check it. So it is not working right now. So there is a problem with backend, I guess. So there are some couple of applications like the C Bazaar. So when you check the application, it looks very nice and very clean, and it's following our design guidances. Let's say if I will go to woman clothes. So if you have a look at that, the background, so there is a blurry image. With the blurry image, it looks very attractive to the user, and then you can just easily have a different perception of the application. So just check it, it is still loading, but it is not disturbing you. So you can just get from here. So whenever it will be loaded, you can just see all the details are here, will be listed in here. I guess there is a problem with the internet connection for outside. You can just check from here. So if you wish, we can just continue. The question is what is the differences between editing grid view in Visual Studio 13 and the different from the Visual Studio 12. So basically there is no differences. You can do the same thing exactly in Visual Studio 2013 as well. Even if you have a project which is just Visual Studio 12 project, you can just have the same thing on Visual Studio 13 as well. So and you can also edit that thing in your application. So basically I would like to go to my application. So let me go and open solution. This will be my documents. Projects, online sessions. Here it is. So basically we will continue with what we had in our application, and then we will see how can we modify it. I hope I answered that question. So basically if we will remember what this application does. Whenever I run this thing, I can just see in here the detail, and then I can move right and I can get more detail. This is just actually a grid view, and I can see that even in here I can just search for any the city, and I can get more detail. And whenever I select here, I can just check it. Same thing in here, I can just click there and I can get the more detail in here, like the titles, like the even on the map, or like as an image, like I can get more detail. So what I will do is like I will just basically go to application, and then I will put a branding in my application. So especially to my start screen. So basically, like I will prefer like to go into the blend. The question is like, which application design tool did you use like for the design logo? There are a couple of applications to do that. Especially we have a tool for like, expression design. With expression design, like, you can just design any vectorial stuff, and then you can just like, save them as a PNG or JPEG files, and then like, it can really help you a lot. And also there are some open source projects and also paid applications where you can buy them. So, but like again, like expression, the design is free and you can use it as well. So, and also like there's like you can do that thing with the paint and paint like that, and also Photoshop, and also like the different the image reviewers. So basically, like what I will do is like I need to give like some like the margin units to the top side and to the left side. So basically, this is just starting from like the 64. So, and also from the left side, it is like the dark to the left side. So the main idea is like if I would like to have, for example, from like the top side, if you remember, it was like the 140, and from the left side, it was like 120. So I will have this design, and let me run this application, how it will look like. So basically, like now I can just see like this, and whenever I move right, like I can see in here. But the important thing is like from the left side, like whenever I move right, like it's still empty. Like it should be like empty at the beginning. So what can I do is I want to have the same experience with my start screen. So there will be a gapping from here, and then whenever I move that, so like all my tasks will go to the left side. So basically I want to have that thing, and we have a feature for that. So especially like lots of the developers are like facing that problem. So for the layout, so what I will do is I will just like put the margin to the zero here. So then like it will be 0 onto the left side. Then after that, what I will do is I will just give a padding on the downside of like this tool, and I will just give a padding. Like padding means like inside of the application, like inside of the component, like items will start from that margin. So if I will press F5, and I can easily see in here. So like whenever I move right, like you can see it will be on the left side, and you can just easily see that like it is here. So same thing for the tile sizes. I just want to make it a kind of smaller. So what I will do. So basically what you need to do is you need to right click, edit additional templates, edit generated items, and edit current. So whenever you do that, so you will have a kind of like grid view, which is like 300 to like the 200. So what I will do is I will just like make it a kind of smaller, like 210 to like 140. So let's save it like this, and let me like press F5 again. Let me run the application. So then like I will have like a more detail like whenever like I make it like this. So then like whenever I click there, I can just go to the detail. But the important thing is I cannot go back. So this means whenever I go to the detail page, I need to add a new back button. So before that, like I need to have a branding in here, like my application name. So in order to do that, I will use my logo first. So in my assets, I will use my which logo should I use? I can use my small logo. I can say right click and insert. So it's a kind of small. So what can I do is I can just insert my logo. So I just select my grid. Inside of my grid, it will add my logo. It is here right now. So I can just make it I can just leave it here, or just I can just give it the separation to the left side. So basically what I will do is I can just use like these kind of grids for that. So basically, like, it will help me to, like, how many pixels so do I have, like, from the left side, so I can just easily see in here. So for example, if I would say like 120, I can just put this one, and at the same time I can just use my like the logo in here. So basically what I did is, like, I just locked from here. I don't have to lock this one to the left side. So what I will do is I will just use this ruler for that, this grid for that. So I will just put to 120, and then like what I can do is I can just, like, replace my logo, which will start from this place. So this is just it. And also after that I can just remove my like the grid points, grid ruler for that. So I can just remove that. So then after that, what I need to do is I need to have a like a title for that. So what I will do is I will just go there and I will just select the text block, and I will say that like let's say, or let's brand it like the photo portfolio app. So what I will do is, this is just very small, and we have some templates. So when we right click on like the text, and when we say like edit style, and when we say apply resource, so there are some like the common text style. So this means you don't have to give like some actual sizes, you can just use them. Let's say I can just use like the title text body style, or same thing for if I will go there and if I will use like like other things like subtitle or something like that, I can just like use like these kind of things as well. So let me go there, and then let me say like the header. For the header I can use in my application, and for the width I can change the size of that, and same thing in here. So like these kind of like little things, and you can just easily implement into your application, and then like you can just have the same thing. At the same time, like you can change the size of your like search box, which will be like suitable for your application. At the same time, don't forget to like test in different views like how your application will look like. Same thing for like in here, for example, logo is not appearing right now. So what I will do is I will just like unlock from right side, and I will lock from the left side, and I need to unlock from bottom side. So this means whenever my size will be changed, so it won't be affected. So this will be locked to the left side. But for example, search box, it is locked to the right side. So you need to decide like wherever you want to lock. So when you press F5, so like you will have your application like this, and then whenever you move right, like you can just easily get detail. Like same thing for like when you go to detail, like when like let's add a new programmatic way to do that. So basically, if I will go to, I will use like Visual Studio for that. When I go to the detail page, like if you remember, like we use the basic page. Like basic page means so when you are using that thing, so it has like title with it, and at the same time back button. But for back button, like it has some like conditions. Like conditions means like if you are using a navigation system, it is just like showing that. But I don't want to have that thing in here. What I will do is I will just remove that, and then like what I will do is, so whenever I click this button, my back button, I just wanted to go to like windows.current.content will be my main page. I just wanted to go back to my main page like directly from here, and then basically I will use this thing in my application. So I just run this app, and then like whenever I go to any detail, I can see my back button, and I can just like go back. I can just go to detail and go back again. So these kind of things are like can be like easily done by like in here. You can just do that. So basically when you go to like let's say the detail page in Blend, so again like if you are doing some design thing, my suggestion is just go to Blend and then like design that thing, And same thing for Visual Studio, like if you're doing coding or something like that, you can just use that. So I just wanted to have my the design which will be suitable for my current design right now. So what can I do is I can just easily display in here, and same thing in here. So for example, I just wanted to make it smaller. So what can you do is you can use stack panel. At the same time, you can use your the different grouping tools like ViewBox. So if you use ViewBox, you can easily resize it within your application. So let's say you will resize like this, and then you'll have like that, and then whenever you press F5, you will have a design which has the same the ratio what you have there. As you can see the detailing here, and you can see the maps, and then it's all up to you. So think about it. There are lots of possibilities. If you follow these rules and follow these kind of contents, your application will really look in a really professional way. And when you compare to the first the first version of it, so there's a really huge differences. Let's say you are working on a dark background. There's a section for in the device. It's called the theme. For the theme, you can just select the light one. So whenever you select light one, it will look like this, but there is a warning. It's saying that you change the design, you can see the differences, but in order to run this value, you need to change from application XAML. So we will have a look at that. But please have a look at here, what are the changes in my application. So if I use dark, so my background is the dark in here, and my text is light, a kind of white. But whenever I change to light, so my design is changing. My the background is turning to white, and my title is here, fonts became to black, and I can see in here even my the back button. So whenever I change it, I can easily see the differences in here. So basically, I will just have this thing as light, and same thing for my the main page. So I can have the same thing in light as well. But I need to define this is just a light theme in my application. In order to do that, let me open application XAML. In application XAML, there is a section there is a property called requested theme. With requested theme, you can just easily set dark or light. I will just say light, and then I will build this project, and then I will run it. So whenever I run this project, I can easily see my application is showing like this. And also if you remember from settings, we have implemented clearing history. We can easily clear this search results. So what can I do is I can go to settings, I can go to clear history, I can say clear history, and then it's gone. So as you can see, it is more looking better. So this is all up to you. You can put some images on the background, you can put some animations or something like that. It's all up to you. So whenever you go to the detail, as you can see, it's you can see some detail there, and you can just see some other detail. So again, this is just all up to you. So you can just put in different contexts and different sizes. So this is just the decision you will just give. So imagine in a couple of minutes, so we have just changed completely the design of our application. As I mentioned before, if you have another material, if you can use in the application, you can just easily provide a different user experience, different the UI, and then you can in your application. Again, my suggestion is please go to the blend, and please check every single feature from the devices, from properties, every single thing. Whenever you check them, you will find lots of helpful tricks, helpful tips, and then you can easily implement in your application. So right now, we are at the end of our session right now. So again, we have very limited time, so I'm planning to record this user experience and UI tips and tricks in a separated series again. So it will be high definition, and then you can just download it and you can just follow it through my blog post. Please follow there. And here, you can just ask your question through my email address, and then like you can just follow me like from Twitter, and same thing for from my blog address, you can just follow it. At the same time, like from our Facebook group, you can easily go there and you can easily like ask your question or share your knowledge and get more information regarding Windows 8.1. So this session will be available on my blog like in the coming hours. So please just let me know if you have any question, and please use my the channels to ask any question. So thanks a lot for listening. So if you have any question, so I will be really happy to get your feedbacks or get your question from here. Thanks, Gordon. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks a lot, Rahman. Thanks, everyone. It seems like you have no question, right? Thanks. Thanks, this one as well. So, guys, like if you have no question, like I will stop recording, and then I will to publish this video on my blog. Thanks, Ali. Hey, Daniel has a question. Yes, please go ahead, Daniel. Okay, I guess. Good link means are you looking for some design samples, like the application designs or something like that? So for that, please go to design.windows.com, and you can get more detail from there, and you can just access lots of detail from there. And then again, if you have any other questions, please use my Twitter address and my email address, and please let me know if you have any question. So thanks, guys, for your asking, attending this session. So looking forward for tomorrow at 2 p.m. in my local time, in Istanbul time, which means 2 hours earlier before this session started. So you can just easily follow from there. So thanks a lot, everyone, and hope to see you again. So have a nice day. Bye bye.